Oh,
So you basically punted steals.
I
and
punted
steals is like that category that people tend to like accidentally, unknowingly punt. By the end of the draft, like, oh shit, all my guys are slow.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and I said this. You were gone. You were answering the phone. And I said this. I'm not a big steals fan. Reason being, that's one category. I like power guys because they give you several categories.
Yeah, a home run is also an automatic. A ribby,
a run,
hit to your average,
knock to my average. Yep. So that's why I like going with power more than anything. I'm not a big average guy either. None of my teams are going to win a lot of average titles. Although I do have some decent average guys in there, like Blackman and Buster Posey's going to hit for high average. Daniel Murphy will hit for high average. I don't usually go for average either. I go for power. I'm a power guy.
Charlie Blackman's projected average is 323.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Oh my no, but the funny thing is, I believe
it. Yeah, what
Jesus.
he was 331 last year.
Oh my God.
I told Mark that he would have gotten my vote for MVP last year. Charlie Blackman was that good last year.
But the only thing he beat Stanton in was runs and steals.
Man, and average.
Oh, and well, okay then. So
Blew him out in average.
He did blow him out. You're right.
Man.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, chicks dig the long ball, and apparently there's a lot of chicks voting for MVP.
But he wasn't even second. Joey Votto was second.
Yeah, I'd have had him over Votto last year because of his stats.
I think I would have too, but I cannot stress enough how much I love Votto.
Yeah, Joey Votto is a complete
He might be my favorite baseball player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so fun to watch hit.
Right now, I mean, Andrew McCutcheon's my favorite baseball player. I'm not going away from that. He plays in San Francisco, so what? I still watch Juan Gonzalez when he played in Detroit and Cleveland, and I will watch Andrew McCutcheon while he's in San Francisco and wherever he goes next year. So he'll be my favorite baseball player until he retires. I won't especially root for the teams he's on, but I'll root for him to do good. Mm-hmm. But on the Pirates right now, my favorite player is Josh Harrison.
So I think some of the picks I really liked on your team was Nomar Mazara really late.
Yeah. I did pick Josh Bell late too.
You got Price real late as well.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I understand him dropping off a little, but I mean he was down. He was almost down as far as like freaking Felix Hernandez.
Yeah.
I don't get that. He hasn't dropped off that far.
No, he's not that far.
Plus, the whole landscape of pitching, of baseball in general, has changed. Guy like a 3.8 ERA. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially if you're striking out a batter per 9.
Yeah,
which he has the upside to do higher than that. So
I think Boston's going to have a really good pitching staff. Man, Chris Sale, David Price, Porcello will be decent.
Maybe he wasn't last year.
No, he was.
He had like a 4.50 ERA.
Yeah.
I like your Josh Bell pick as well. I do think he has high upside, and Yahoo's projections are selling him short.
I do believe he's going to be the man in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh believes he's going to be the man now. I think that may have had a lot to do with why they traded McCutcheon to San Francisco. They believe Josh Bell will be able to pick up that slack. Adam Frazier will probably be in the outfield, and here's a guy that could. There's a guy that I didn't talk about. He could sneak up on your boards a little bit. He might be a guy you pick up as a free agent because he's going to start in the outfield in Pittsburgh, and he's second base eligible.
Okay.
But when he's in there, and he's got a couple years under his belt now, he could be a 300 hitter.
Okay.
And steals wise, I would say 20-ish.
Okay. So let's just say what his ceiling is. 305.
305 average, 20
steals.
25 steals, ceiling. Mm-hmm. Runs, I would say in the 80s.
Right. It's low ceiling. And home runs, 10.
10.
Our ribbies, if he's hitting the top of the order, 50.
Yeah.
I can see him being drafted in our 20-team league, absolutely.
Yeah.
But in a standard 12-team league?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. But in our league, we're going to have 20 teams.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, if you're late in the draft, you don't have a second baseman.
He's not going to hurt you.
No. Josh Harrison, I don't even know if anybody took Josh Harrison in this draft.
No, did we check out Fantasy Pros? He was like the 30-something second baseman.
Yeah.
He's him, and I feel like the same thing will happen to Adam Frazier, is that
they're better in real life than they are in fantasy.
Exactly. I don't think even if he has a good season for his own standards, or just a good, in general, baseball season.
Yeah.
Hitting wise, I don't think it's enough to be fantasy relevant. They're just one of those guys that just, even if they play every day, Harrison will never have higher than 80 in the counting stats, and he'll never have more than 20 steals, or maybe he has, but...
Okay, here's a guy that let's move to pitchers. Here's a guy that was just signed by Baltimore, Andrew Cashner. What do you think?
I know I'm just generalizing, but my gut tells me if he sucked in San Diego, he's going to suck worse in Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's a hitter's ballpark, guys. If he starts giving up a lot of fly balls, he's going to give up a lot of runs. I'm glad that Baltimore didn't get Garrett Cole, because Garrett Cole probably had a 4.5 ERA with Baltimore. Maybe closer to 5, because he was giving up a lot of home runs last year.
But that was an outlier season. He never really gave up that many
That's true. That's true. Before last year, he was more of a ground ball pitcher. And that's why he was so good. But last year, he was giving up a lot of fly balls last year, and it's a live ball era, and more pitchers are giving up home runs. So Cashner, I don't think he'd be draftable at this point.
I'm going to give that a hell no.
Yeah, even in a 20-team league.
I would not be. It wouldn't make me like pass out. I wouldn't like freak out if he actually was good, because he has been good.
Right,
but
he
that
has
was
been good
ages ago.
Dylan Bundy, I think, will be the stud pitcher out there, and although Gausman's decent, I think Bundy's going to be a stud in Baltimore. I don't know if he's a fly ball pitcher yet. If he starts giving up a lot of fly balls, he's in trouble.
I also wanted to mention this. There's a couple relievers, closers. Alex Colomé for the Rays and Andres Vizcaino for the Braves. I've been hearing on the other podcast I listen to, CBS, that there's other guys in their bullpen that can throw harder and are better. And these guys look like their positions may be challenged. Just as a heads up, because Colomé, you're going to look at his stats and be like, wow. And same with Vizcaino.
Yeah.
But there are other guys in their bullpen that could take them. They're not super established. So.
Some of the minor league people that we didn't take, Acuna's out there. I saw him listed to be drafted. Those are guys you could take late in the draft.
That's tricky though in categories leagues where
you
want to just put guys in there that are playing. It's hard to have a bench spot.
Lewis Brinson's a guy you definitely want to take.
That's who I wanted to take with my last pick. I had him starred too.
Yeah, Brinson's going to play in Miami.
His projection stats were like 241 average and like 50 runs, 50 RBI. I think he'll be better than that.
He'll be better than that. I think he will. I mean, him and Justin Bour will be the two main hitters. And
So Lewis Brinson, do you feel like he's at a disadvantage for playing on a bad team?
No.
Or do you think he's at an advantage
at this point of his career?
Because his playing time will not be threatened.
Right. At this point in his career, I think he's at an advantage.
But do you think it puts added pressure on a young up-and-coming star
to
do well?
I think early in the season, yes. But as the season goes along, he knows he's not on a good team. So I think he knows he doesn't have to go out there and try to win.
But in the back of my mind, it's like, I could be the face of this franchise right now.
Right. So I think early in the season he's going to struggle, but I think he'll settle down, and I think he'll have an okay year. I think next year you're going to see him really shine. I think 2019 will be the year he really shines.
And that's another thing that I think a lot of fans, newer fantasy players take too much into account is season-long stats.
Yeah.
If someone offers you a trade, and this guy, maybe his stats don't look good, but if you follow baseball, you want to look at his last month's stats.
Yeah.
If you filter by 1 week, that's not really enough of a sample size. But last month, if he's coming along, it's all about what they're going to do for you from here to the end of the season, not what he has done.
Right.
So if there's considerable upside and he's starting to show it, he's starting to break out, you might want to make that trade for somebody that has been putting up the stats. Just something to think about. It's all about what's happening from when you make the trade on. Or when you pick up this guy off free agents on, not what has he done so far.
So your Tyler Glasnow pick, that's what I want to touch on that. He's not projected to be in the starting rotation yet, but I think he will be in the starting rotation I'm not even going to say even by the middle of the year. I think he's going to start pitching really well, and they're going to realize that, okay, we need to get him in as one of our starters.
But he has always pitched well in the minors. That's the tricky thing.
Right, but I'm saying I think he'll make the team as a relief pitcher, as a long reliever at this point. But I think he'll eventually take over for Chad Cole.
Okay, so we got Tyone,
Nova,
Musgrove,
Williams, and Chad Cole as our 5 starters.
I could see 4 of them being so bad that they lose their spot.
Yeah,
I mean, Nova was no stud last year, that's for sure.
he was a stud for about a month and a half, 2 months,
Right.
And then he started slowly. And then after the All-Star break, he fell off the map. And his ERA was really good for the first. He was actually for the first month and a half.
He didn't walk a guy or something, right?
Yeah,
He didn't
and
walk,
he was in consideration for Cy Young. People were talking about Cy Young, but then he fell off.
Oh yeah.
And then Trevor Williams sort of did the opposite. Trevor Williams started really slow, and then he caught fire in the second half of the year. I think Trevor Williams is going to be sneaky good. If everybody remembers the Rich Hill game, Pirates got no hit through 9 innings, and they won in the 10th, tied at 0. And it was Trevor Williams who made sure that game was tied. He threw, I believe, 8 strong innings. He gave up 4 hits, and I
against
think
the Dodgers.
Yeah,
too, so
this was against the Dodgers, and he shut them down. And they went in tied going to the 10th. Harrison hit the game-winning solo shot in the 10th inning, and
you know what's funny about that? If it's tied 0-0 going into the 10th, and the Dodgers would have won,
yeah,
and I paid money to be at that game, I'd have been so pissed. I'd be like, what a waste of money. Like, this was the worst game ever. But because if they win on a walk-off in the 10th,
Yeah.
1-0, it could be one of the best games you've ever
yeah,
been to.
yeah.
God, there's nothing worse than going to the worst Pirates game I ever went to. They got blown out like 7-0. It was it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Jung Ho. We got Jess, her favorite baseball player at the time, Jung Ho Gung, before all the rape stuff,
Rape
and drunk driving. He was her favorite baseball player. He's one of mine too.
Yeah.
And he didn't play.
Yeah, that sucks when your favorite player
And they
doesn't
got
play.
it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But then we just walked around the stadium and played Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
For like 4 hours. Anyway, nobody
Good
gives a shit
day.
about that.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, here we go. So,
The draft grades are up, I believe, right?
the draft grades are up. This is my roster, and I think if you go here, and if you go...
Oh, it's right there. Right there. You got an A- 92.
1 mock draft, actually. Hold on.
Oh, wait, that's
Let me
the
update.
last one.
Yep, hold on. Let me update this. All right, so now I'm down to a B+ after 2 mock drafts. 3 mock drafts. Actually, I must have been in that other room, and it probably
But
automatically...
go to full report card.
Full report card.
Because I want to see what you did on this draft. I don't care what you did. Okay.
Okay, so I had a B, and I had an A- in this draft again.
You had an A-.
Yes.
Weakness, stolen bases,
Stolen
you
bases.
called that.
Yep.
Strengths, RBI, saves. All right. I wonder if I can check my...
No, that was my first draft. Sorry. So, my strengths were runs, average, and wins. My weaknesses were stolen bases and saves in this draft. Obviously, you're going to have saves as your weakness.
I can't...
Actually, we can do it here. Let's do this here.
Yeah, can you...
Yep.
do mine?
Yep. We're going to go to marks now.
I'm not really hopeful because I have Glass now. I have a few guys that aren't in the rotation.
So this... I got to sign out of mine here real quick. Actually, I can just add it again.
God, do I have to piss?
But you're... Go ahead and
I
sign
gotta tell you
it.
my password over a
It's
podcast.
probably the same as his Pornhub password.
Why the hell would I have a Pornhub
I don't
password?
know.
It's
If you have a
free.
If you have a Pornhub password, folks, you're losing in life.
That's not necessarily true.
Jake has a Pornhub password. Ha Oh.
Well, that's just to upload his own personal videos. Let's see.
Go to sports.
You do it for me.
Jake will be uploading a video at the end of the year with him in a lingerie with a Ric Flair wig. Oh man, I mean, I love talking about it. It just, let's see. Now we got a mock draft today, and we should get your grade a B-. Oh, yeah. Oh wait, this full report card.
Oh, because that was my shit one that I did.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
I believe it was this one. Which it doesn't really tell me what the grade is on it.
It doesn't tell you which draft it was, but it looks like I got a C.
Yeah, let me see here. We'll be able to tell here by your. Now, he had the Brad Peacock, and was this the one?